G'day Steel Pushers, welcome back to another show. We've got one hell of a topic to discuss today. It's all about culture, it's all about development, both personal and professional. We're talking about the book club.
Yes, the good old famous book club, Lyndon, that you've enjoyed doing over the years.
I have. It's had a massive impact on myself. More books, some books more than others, but it's just the personal development that I've gone through, the professional development that I've gone through in the last year that we've been doing this. We have hit a year, haven't we? It's been over a year. Yeah. Just over, I think.
Time flies when you're having fun, mate.
What, 13 book? Are we up to book 13 now? Or?
I can't count that high.
Yeah.
The old book club. So what we do, and the thoughts behind it were, everyone in business is gladiators. So the whole thing of a business, why would you go into business? Because there's a chance we could die at any time. So why would you go into business? And if you do go into business, you've got to arm your people. How do you arm your people? You do it through training, education, and learning. So that's how the book club was formed.
That's right. This isn't your neighbourhood catch up, talk about touchy-feely things, although some of it does get pretty damn touchy-feely. Oh no, I've had a couple of tear-jerker moments. It's everything all the books are relevant in one way or another to our professional development, even the progression of the company as a whole, not just us personally, especially. I know the book that we're reading right now, Hug Your Haters, that's very relevant to what the company's going through right now. And I found that this constant, continuous, never-ending growth has been hugely valuable.
Well, the Japanese call it kaizen, don't they? It's never-ending improvement. It's one of our actual culture points that we employ on is, when we're interviewing all these staff, one of the first questions we ask is like, so do you like learning? Oh, yep. What are you learning? Well, I've done quite a bit of sales training. What sort of sales training? What have you done? Well, I sort of just picked it up on the job. Straight away, I'm like, hang on, that's not really for us. Whereas you get a person who likes learning and is willing to grow within their role, because if you're not growing, you're dying. A bit like the old pot plant scenario, isn't it? Pot plant's either growing or dying, there's no in between. Same with business, if you like, but same with people. So that's where this book club came, and everyone here has embraced it. Everyone's into it. It's good.
It came off the back of, we've got a company culture chant that we do every morning.
Don't tell them about that. They're going to think we're weird.
I won't rattle it off to you now, but it freaks out some of the newbies when they hear a chorus of staff in unison rattling it off every Monday morning. But one of the parts of it's we're obsessed with being better, and that's both in our personal lives and in our professional lives. We're consistently getting better at what we do, at who we want to be, and that's different for everyone. The interpretation of that's different for everyone. And it's incredible how every single book that we've done has furthered that differently for everyone, which is awesome. And it's just, I don't know if it's the right words to use, but I think it's made us 12 times better than anyone else out there that's doing this kind of thing.
Well, that was a bit of my thought.
Well, 13
saying,
at the end of this book,
Yeah, that was a bit of my thought was, if we're reading one book a month, and we don't read them, like old Sammy boy probably reads them because he's a bit of a speed reader. But
we are audio booking them.
We
listen to them.
Yeah. So we have one book a month where, we pick a book and everyone can put in the book into the book club channel to say, what are some recommendations out there? We get all sorts, whether it's personal, whether it's SAS stuff, whether it's Shoe Dog was another brilliant one.
That was
dude of Nike.
The founder of Nike, yeah.
That was very cool. So we get a real good variety, but it's picked by the people, and then what we do is just pick a book once a month. We're listening to that book. We break the book into 4 chapters, 4 weeks, 4 chapters.
4 sections, yeah.
Then every Friday morning, 8:30, we hook up, sit around, grab coffees, you know, and talk about what we've learnt in the book. And the amazing thing is, you're sitting there and someone brings up a point and you go, was that the same book that I was actually listening to?
Yeah.
I did not get that. And then you go to the next person, oh man, just got that off them. So it's this collaborative learning, isn't it? Where you really get to learn off each other.
Yeah. Like everything that I've taken out of some of these books is vastly different to what a lot of the other guys have taken out of these books, and what they've taken out of them I've learnt from to no end. Seeing different perspectives at that Friday morning meeting is the best thing about this process. It's getting all the different bits of feedback, and you click, okay, that's a cool way of looking at it. And the unanimous thing that comes from all of this is everyone in the company, and this is probably one thing a lot of businesses struggle to do, is all of the staff, every member of this company is moving the cart forward. There's no one dragging the cart. There's no one just hanging off the back or riding off somebody else's coattails. We're all pushing the cart forward. You know, there's some of us at the front pulling it. There's some at the back pushing it. There's no one just sitting in it and taking a free ride. We're all moving the cart forward. And that's really come as a result of doing this.
Every now and then I play the boss card and sit up there and drive it. That's fair enough, isn't it? You know, some of these steel pushers will be able to understand.
I don't know why we let him get away with it.
You have to.
Boss card.
That's the way it works. The old boss card comes out. So, you know, for some of these steel pushers out there, Lyndon, they'll be listening to this going, what the hell, you have a bloody book club. I couldn't imagine my sales guys doing that, or I couldn't imagine my team doing that. So when I first come along and said, I got this great idea, this book club thing, what was your first initial thoughts? Were you like, oh God, what's he up to now?
Well, being a person I've never really read development books, whether they be self-development or professional development books. Before doing this, I'd never done that. I'm an avid reader, you know, but I'm more fiction. And this being my first real foray into the non-fiction, into the self-help and the self-development, professional development world, my initial thoughts were like, okay, this will be interesting. I reckon at the end of the first week, we're going to hear some pretty wild stuff, or at least maybe there'd be a bit of kickback. And there was. Initially, people were coming to meetings not having read the chunk, but I think the key thing that you did when it was all implemented is that you need to be in this all the way. If you don't, and you're not, don't come to the meeting. You're out. Go.
But I gave them a choice.
Yeah.
I gave people a choice. It's like, this is the way I am. This is the way I'm running my company. Your choice, whether you do it or not. That was not me forcing it upon them.
Yeah.
But I did remind them that I'd employed them on growing and developing themselves back in the interview. So when I got to it, if they didn't want to do it, that's okay too. There's heaps of companies who don't. So it was a choice. But then, you know, for them to jump in and then give it a crack, because people at first were a bit sort of apprehensive, I suppose, or, you know, sharing. But I think once they saw a lot of the leaders in the group and everyone started opening up and what I call telling the truth or sharing the truth, then it really progressed and grabbed a momentum that, you know, it is what it is today. I don't think people would want to miss it, would they? They'd be like, man, we've got to have our book club.
I think if it got to a month where we didn't do it, and I think there was that when we went to Tangalooma, or we skipped a few weeks, and it was weird, like it wasn't right. You get to a Friday and we weren't doing book club, and it was just really strange. And I think it's because we've all gotten used to having that opportunity. It's almost like venting on a Friday. We get to that Friday and all these things we link to the way we feel or what we've learned or how we're developing professionally, it all comes out, but it all comes out so easy, and it's a comfortable environment to do it in. I've been incredibly surprised with how comfortable not just I've felt, but how some of the other guys have felt with just going for it and laying it all out on the table.
So you get to learn a lot about the other staff, don't you?
Yeah.
Like there's stuff that I don't think you would have found out if it wasn't for this book club. I think we get to share some pretty cool things and share some good learnings that wouldn't have come about unless this book club was there.
Oh, Goggins did that for me. I think it was a lot when we did the Goggins book. There was a lot that people either, well, if they didn't want to know it about me, they learnt and they had no choice. A lot came from that book especially. That just brought out a lot of what was already in me. And rather than continue to shove the stopper in deeper into the bottle, I just thought stuff it and I just
let it out. Yeah, you've read it about 5 times and you keep bringing up chapters that no one else had got to. Everyone's like, I didn't read this, I don't remember this bit. And old Lyndon loved it so much he skipped ahead and listened to chapter
4
after chapter.
times. By the time we finished that month of Goggins, I think I'd read the book 4 times.
So what is one cool thing you learned from old Mr. David Goggins?
Similar to yourself, one big thing that's come up is it's always that 40% more.
Yeah.
It's there, but with Goggins, it's that you're never truly done. You are never ever truly finished. You're never ever truly done. When you think you are done, you have more left in you. There's always more left in you. You can dig deeper. I think something else I learnt from it as well, from Goggins especially, was ownership of everything. Of every decision you make, of every choice made, every path taken, every mistake, every cock up, everything you've ever done is you got to own it, and that's something I really took from Goggins, and of course Leif Babin and the fellas from Extreme Ownership, which is an incredible book. Highly recommend that one if no one's read it. Even if you're just into war stories, check that book out. But they're the 2 big things I took from Goggins.
Yeah, the old you don't just get to blame someone else and do nothing, do you?
Yeah, that's right.
So you've actually got to take some action and do it.
Out of the new book, we've got that one, the oldest something. What was the line? I wrote it down. The line was, "You're far better off dealing with something than leaving it undealt with. It's way worse to not acknowledge something than to acknowledge it and deal with it."
Absolutely. Getting a bit of a life lesson from old Lyndon here. There you go, mate. I bet you we wouldn't have been saying that a couple of years ago.
I've gone through a couple of life lessons myself very recently, so no, there's a lot going on that I've been through, especially in the last few years, and I think I'm a very different person to what I was before starting with this company, and it's especially the last 12 months, book clubs have made a massive impact on me.
Yeah. So how do all these steel pushers go out there, because they're watching this going, oh yeah, sort of in, sort of out, but you got to go at 100%, don't you? If it's a choice your company wants to do, you got to go at 100%, and this is what we're doing, this is the why, this is the how, and get into it, and have a couple of people who are the leaders of it, because I think that's the most important thing here. Like, I come out with all these weird and wonderful ideas, and then got a crew around me that just grabs hold of it and gives it a decent crack, and then it's got that momentum, and then everyone else is on board, you know?
Well, I think you can, in doing that very early on, even if every time a new staff have come on, if they've not been a fit, or they weren't a fit in the first place, book club weeds that out really quickly. And it's a good thing, because you're getting people that are invested in the company, invested in the way the business does things. It's like-minded people too. Yeah. Because
then if you like learning, well, then you're around people who like learning.
Yeah.
That's actually a good thing.
Exactly, yeah, it is. And it shows every week, every single week. And I think it's got to be, you've got to do it right by your business though. All of you guys out there pushing steel, you got serious time crunches on your plate. And, so do we here. But you can always develop a format that works for you. It might not be, listen to a book in a 4-week period, do the chunks every Friday like we do. You might do it over, you might start off smaller. You might be doing 6 books a year rather than 12 and take 2 months to do it. Whatever works for your business and for the way that your team operate is key to a successful book club. And with the time frame we were given, I actually think one of the first couple of books we did over like 6 weeks, because it was a big one. Some of them were a bit longer, but in saying that, it's got to, you can't break from it. Once you've got your chunks, you have to stick to it, and that's what's made it work.
Yeah, and then like for the first big chunk of it, because of COVID, we were doing it all over Zoom.
Yeah.
But now we're back in the office Friday morning.
It's so different.
It's cool, isn't it? Like, it was good on Zoom because it was a way of getting, people to catch up some more and to share, when everyone got a bit isolated there for quite a while. So it did bring out some things, and as managers, if you've got someone who's, not travelling along too well at the time, might come out in book club and you can have a chat with them and sort of get them back on track pretty quickly. So it was good through that COVID period, and I recommend that was a big part of how we bounced through the whole COVID gig quite well. Not saying that it's just disappeared or anything, but especially for you Victorians at the moment, that's a bit crazy down there.
Yeah, hat off to you guys down there, what you're dealing with. It's what's lockdown number 4. That's just crazy.
Yeah, just get on a plane and get up to Queensland.
When they let you. When they let you.
Yeah, 2 weeks. That'll be right. Go into lockdown for a couple of weeks. Nice motel on the road here. 24 degrees, isn't it?
We've actually seen one of the lockdown hotels is literally just over from us, and there's a bloke last book club last Friday out on the balcony doing his exercises.
Yeah.
We almost thought about jumping out on the balcony and letting him direct us.
Yeah, that could get interesting. And just a short note too, it was weird Friday bad t-shirt day that day too. It's not normal that I wear a Where's Wally outfit, is it? Apart from at Bathurst after a few Chardonnays.
You looked like a jockey.
All right, so there we have it. Just a quick, simple message or something we're sharing. If you want to take it on, and you want to reach out, actually, give us a call. Give us the heads up. You're giving it a crack, and good luck to you. Put it into your business. You'll see a big change. You'll see an improvement in people's culture and working on things together as a team. So,
yeah, I think if you are looking at doing it, you are looking at getting into it and having a go, definitely be mindful of the first book. I think what really hit home with us was the fact that Steve literally came out to the office and said, "Do you all think you're salespeople?" And everyone had their little nod. Now, right, how many of you read How to Win Friends and Influence People? And half of the room went. And Steve, immediate response to that is, "You're not a salesperson if you haven't read it." So very quickly we're like, "All right, oh Christ, I reckon I'm a salesperson, so we better get into it." And that's I think a very crucial point to starting this process is being very collaborative with the first book that you choose.
How to Win Friends and Influence People. Crack into that.
Great book.
That'll work a treat.
Yep. Well, thanks for joining us again on Steel Pushers, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode. And remember, when you think machines for you,
everything machinery.
Take care.